Dear viewers, welcome to our channel GVS Bank Academy. Today I am going to discuss about promotional exams, memory based record questions, scale 3 to 4 examination, 8th August 2021 in a Indian Overseas Bank examination questions based on memory based record questions we are discussing. These questions are very useful for the forthcoming promotion examinations. From this we can know the trend how the questions are asking in the examination. Question number 77. Continuation. This is part 8. Who recommends to RBI for caution listing of exporters? So, RBI is maintaining one caution list about exporters. For who is recommending to RBI for putting the for declaring the exporters as caution listing export? That is the question. Under the revised procedure, an exporter would be caution listed by the Reserve Bank of India based on the recommendations of AD Bank, Authorized Dealer Bank. Based on Authorized Dealer AD Bank concerned, RBI can declare the account exporter as a caution listed exporter. Number one. What are the basis for this? The AD Bank would make recommendation in this regard to the regional office concerned of the Foreign Exchange Department of RBI. Regional office, Foreign Exchange Department of the RBI. In case the exporter has become to adverse notice of the Enforcement Directorate. Any Enforcement Directorate adverse remarks? Any adverse report from Central Bureau of Investigation? Any adverse notice of Directorate of Revenue Intelligence? Or any such other law, enforcement agency, any other law, or the exporter is not traceable. So, and the exporter is also not traceable, or exporter is not making sincere efforts to realize the export process. Exporter is not making any sincere effort to realize the export process. That is also one. So, these are the reasons for declaring the exporters. Now, direct question answer to the question is, who recommend the RBI means authorized dealer bank consent. What are the reasons? These are the reasons. That is question number 71. This is RBI notification 9th October 2020. Now 78, question number 78. Ombudsman scheme for digital transactions. RBI was introduced this scheme for ombudsman for digital transaction with effect from 31st March 2019. Ombudsman scheme for digital transactions. RBI notification 31st January 2019. On the date itself, it is effective for these banks. The scheme launched under the section 18 of Payment and Settlement System. Two questions they are asked about this question. What is the date of initiation? 31st January 2019. Under which section it was started? Section 18 of the Payment and Settlement System Act 2007 of RBI. Now, normal ombudsman scheme, banking ombudsman scheme is under Banking Regulation Act. But whereas this scheme, ombudsman scheme for digital transactions, this was established, launched under Section 18 of Payment and Settlement System Act 2017. What is the objective? For redressal of complaints under against system participants who are participating in the digital transaction. Against them, any complaints are there, that is going to be resolved redressal. System participants, payments, gateways, etc. So that is about Ombudsman scheme for digital transactions. RBI notification 31. In this examination, they had asked two questions. Under what section it has been started? Section 18 of Payment and Settlement System Act. Date, what is the effective date? 31st January 2019. This is important for other banks, JAB also, CAB also, this is important. Now, question number 79. Stand Up India scheme, Government of India has added two things in budget 2021. Budget 2021, they had added two things. What are the two things added in Stand Up India in addition to existing? Agriculture allied activities was also added in this scheme. Stand Up India. Allied activities to agriculture was added. Earlier it is not there. Without from January 2021. Allied activities also to agriculture added under this scheme. Number one. Number two, margin money reduced to 15%. Earlier that is 25%. These are the two developments, changes in the Stand Up India. That's why this question they had asked in August 2021. So, allied activity to agriculture, margin money requirement reduced to 15 from 25. This is Stand Up India. This is Ombudsman Scheme or digital transaction. This is resolution framework 2, COVID-2. Resolution of COVID-19 related stress of MSME accounts, micro, small, medium enterprise accounts. RBI notification 5/5/2021 and 4/6/2021. What is the question they had asked? What is the invocation period under this resolution plan? The restructuring of the borrower account is invoked, started by September 30th, 21. That is called invocation means implementation. Starting of this guidelines framework by September 30th by the banks. So restructuring of the borrower account is invoked means initiated, started, implemented by 30th September. This is the question. Now I am discussing the entire 5-6 points which are very useful or other examiner. They are asking in CAB examination also this question they are asked. The borrower should be classified as a micro, small, medium enterprise on 31st March. The borrower entity GST registration is must. Number 2. Aggregate exposure from the banking system is 50 crores. For eligibility under this COVID-19 resolution framework 2, maximum exposure fund based, non-fund based not exceeding 50 crores as on 31st March. And standard assets as on 31st March. The restructuring of the borrower account is invoked, commenced, initiated by September 30th, 2021. That already they have to initiate this date. And the restructuring package is implemented within 90 days from the date of invocation. From the date of invocation, initiation of this plan, within 90 days, they have to implement the restructuring resolution plan. Upon implementation of the restructuring plan, the bank lending shall keep additional provision of, the bank shall keep 10% provision on the balance outstanding in the borrower account. So these are the conditions. They may ask in any question also in the forthcoming examination. One is 31st March 2021 classified as standard. MSME and standard GST registration is must. Loan not exceeding 50 crores as on 31st March. Standard account. The restructuring of the borrower account is invoked by September 30th. After that, the restructuring of the borrower account is implemented within 90 days. Upon implementation, total provision in the account is 10%. These are the guidelines of RBI. This question is. Crop loan eligibility conditions for rescheduling. Two questions they had asked in this exam. In the 8th August 2021, IOB 3 to 4, two questions they had asked. Earlier also in Canara Bank 3 to 4, this question was asked. So this is very, very important. Crop loans eligibility conditions for rescheduling because of natural calamities. Relief measures by banks in areas affected by natural calamities. If the crop loss between 33 to 50%, repayment period is going to be rescheduled, extended 2 years, including 1 year moratorium. 1 year no repayment, 1 year they will give time for repayment. So total 2 years for where crop loss is 33 to 50%. Maximum you will get to 1 is moratorium, including. And if the loss is 50% or more, it is 50% or more, the repayment period is going to be extended by 5 years. maximum 5 years. Out of 5, 1 year is moratorium and 4 years plus. The repayment period may be extended up to maximum 5 years. At the time of natural calamities, whatever the dues are there in standard account, the dues are going to be rescheduled maximum 2 years, where crop loss is 33, 50, 52 and more, they can give in maximum 5 years. This is 2 questions they are asked in this examination. Every year they are asking in IOB examination definition qualifying criteria for regulatory retail portfolio as per Basel II compliance, BCBS compliance, and in compliance with Basel II, Basel III, RBI guidelines. What is meant by regulatory criteria for regulatory retail portfolio, RRP? Retail loans. Now, turnover in any account is less than 50 crores during the last 3 years. Any of the business account turnover not exceeding 50 crores in previous 3 years. That is one condition. Second condition is the aggregate, maximum aggregate retail exposure to one counterparty means one borrower not exceeding 7.5 crores. One is maximum exposure to single borrower 7.5 crores not exceeding. Turnover in this account not exceeding 50 crores during the previous earlier 3 years. Now what is the benefit under regulatory rated portfolio? Risk weight is 75%. For the calculation of CR, capital to risk weighted purpose, what are the outstanding is there on this regulatory rated portfolio? Risk weight is 75% only. This is qualifying criteria for regulatory. Every time they are asking this. Even in CAB also, BFM paper, they are asking this question. Now, this is a new question. So far, in any of the examination, they had not asked this question. Very difficult question and very unique and a new question. August 21 examination, 3 to 4 IOB, this question. Regarding intangible assets, under SARFAESI Act, intangible assets they had. Normally, we are discussing SARFAESI action, NP account, security more than 1 lakh, balance outstanding 1 lakh, other than agriculture, etc. Now they are asking intangible assets. So under securitization, intangible assets, any right, title or interest on any intangible assets, that also we can proceed under SARFAESI. Any right, title or interest on any intangible assets. What is meant by intangible asset? Being know-how, patents, copyrights, trademark, license, franchise or any other business or commercial right of similar nature as may be prescribed by central government in consultation with the Reserve Bank of India. So, intangible assets are also we can attach under SARFAESI Act. These are the things. Or license or assignment of such intangible assets which secure the obligation. Now they had given securities as intangible assets which secures the loan, obligation means loan, to pay any unpaid portion of the purchase price of such intangible. Now they had purchased the intangible assets, they had not paid the full price of the purchase price. That is also an obligation. An obligation incurred or credit otherwise extended to enable borrower to acquire the intangible assets. Any borrower obtained loan for purchase of obligation incurred or credit otherwise extended by bank to enable any borrower to acquire, to purchase the intangible assets or obtain any license of such asset. This is about the intangible assets. Intangible assets, where it is defined, section 2, subsection HA, clause 2, intangible assets. Any right, title or interest on any intangible. So, those people are going to scale 3 to 4 and 4 to 5. I think you have to read this point as a part of our preparation. Now, property means section 2, subsection T of SARFAESI Act also defined property, immobile property, mobile property, any debt or any right to receive payment of money, whether secured or unsecured, that is also receivables, whether existing or future receivables, and intangible assets being know-how, patient, copyright, these are the things. Now, so under Securitization Act, against intangible assets, unpaid dues, they can proceed, or for the purchase of intangible assets, if any bank was given loan, if the borrower defaulted, for that also we can proceed under SARFAESI Act. Not only immobile property or mobile property, including intangible assets also. This is the meaning of the circular. Anybody want to read further? Better to read this Securitization Act 2002, because this is a new direction in this. Now, Prudential Framework for Resolution of Stressed Assets. This is RBI circular. This is RBI circular dated 7th June 2019. Prudential Framework for Resolution of Stressed Assets. 4 questions, 3 or 4 questions they had given in this examination IOP. And September 12th, 2021, in CAB BFM paper, they had given a case study on Prudential Framework for Resolution of Stressed Assets. See, from this, in one examination, promotion examination, 3 questions they had given. In CAB BFM paper on 12th September, they had given 5 questions case study. So this is very, very important. Prudential Framework for Resolution of Stressed Assets, RBI circular dated 7th June 2019. Now, what are the important points we are discussing? Now, banks are getting a review period of 30 days from the date of reporting to CRILC. Banks are getting 30 days time to review the account from the date of reporting to CRILC, CRILC, Central Repository Information on Large Credits. All big borrower accounts, 5 crores and above, fund-based and non-fund-based advances. When default is there, the bank had to report weekly basis to CRILC, to RBI. So once after reporting to CRILC under to RBI, they have to review the account within 30 days. That is the first step. Second step, during the 30 days, they have to enter inter-creditor agreement. During the 30 days review period, they have to enter inter-creditor agreement with the approval of 75% by total outstanding debt of the borrowers, bankers, and 60% by lenders by number. So, the ICA inter-creditor agreement approval within review period of 30 days with the consent of 75% outstanding loan by banks value and 60% by number of banks. That is second point. And resolution plan shall be implemented within 180 days from the end of the review period. After completion of the 30 days of the review period, within next 180 days, they have to implement the resolution plan. They have to implement the resolution plan. If they are not going to implement the resolution plan within 180 days from the end of the review period, they have to pay additional provision as penalty. They have to maintain. That we will discuss separately. Now, review period shall commence not later than. For 2000 crores and above, the review period, the reference date for the review period is 7th June 2019, the date of the circular. Review period shall commence not later than 2000 crores and above. The reference date is 7 June 2019, date of the circular. Now more than 1500 crores, less than 2000 crores, the reference date they had given, implementation review period 1st January 2020. Less than 15,000 crores, they had not announced the date so far. Till days also they had not announced. So 2000 crores and above, the reference date is 7/6/2019. More than 1500 crores to 2000 crores, 1/1/2020. This is it. Now, along with this, at the time of going for resolution plan, they have to obtain independent credit evaluation report from the independent credit rating agencies. Along with the resolution plan implementation, before that, the banks must go credit reports, credit evaluation reports from independent rating agencies, where the exposure is 5 million means 500 crores and above, they have to obtain two independent credit evaluation reports from two different independent credit external rating agencies. In other accounts, means less than 500 million, 500 crores, one independent credit evaluation report is enough. So this question also they are asking, what is there? If the amount outstanding is 500 crores and above, how many independent credit evaluation reports are required? Two. Less than 500, one independent credit evaluation report required. Further, after getting the independent credit evaluation report, what are the basic resolution plan rating is required for implementation of the resolution plan? That is, after getting the independent credit evaluation report, they are giving the ratings RP1 to RP7. These are the guidelines given by RBI. During the independent credit evaluation report by the rating agencies, they have to rate the account from RP1 to RP7. RP1 means lowest credit risk. RP1 means lowest credit risk in that proposal. RP2 low credit risk. RP2 low credit risk. RP3 low credit risk. Low credit risk. RP4 moderate credit risk. Moderate. So for the resolution plan implementation, minimum acceptable rating is independent credit evaluation rating is RP1 to RP4. RP1, RP2, RP3 or RP4. In this examination, they had asked what is meant by RP4. RP4 means that is the minimum acceptable rating for implementation of independent credit evaluation report. What is the risk level in RP4? Moderate credit risk. This is the question. RP5 to RP7, independent credit evaluation ratings are not allowed to implement a resolution plan. This slide is very, very important, which carries a lot of information. This is the each and every bank examination, they are asking this question. Now, what are the penalty if the bank was not implemented the resolution plan within 180 days from the end of the review period? Timeline for implementation of viable resolution plan. Delay in implementation of resolution plan. The lender shall make additional provision. If they are not implemented the resolution plan within 180 days from the end of the review period, they have to maintain normal provision plus 20% additional provision. Normal provision in that borrower account plus 20% additional provision. That is the condition. When if the bank is not implemented the resolution plan within 180 days from the end of the review period, that is 180 days after end of the. Second point, the bank was not implemented the resolution plan even 365 days from the commencement of the review period. After end of the review period, the bank was unable to implement the resolution plan even within 365 days. The bank made a total additional provision of 15. First 180 days not implemented 20. Additional, even after 365 days they are not implemented 15%. Total 35. Up to 180, 20, 180 and above up to 365, 15%. Total 35% for delay in implementation of resolution plan. Beyond 180 days 20, beyond 365 days 15. Total 35% they have to make additional provision. Including the 35% additional provision along with normal provision should not exceed 100% of the total outstanding. This 20 plus 15 provision plus normal provision should not exceed 100% of the outstanding. This is the penal clause. Now, conditions for upgrade. Once after resolution plan, one more step is there. That is the how we can upgrade the restructured NPA account to performing account. That is the question. Conditions for upgrade. When you will upgrade the account? After satisfactory performance of the borrower up to 10% of the outstanding amount. So, if party was paid 10% of the outstanding amount plus interest capitalized at the time of restructuring. At the time of restructuring, whatever the interest was capitalized, funded, that amount they have to deposit plus 10% of outstanding party has to deposit. Then we can upgrade the account to PA. Or if the account was sold to others, the new promoter shall have acquired at least 20%, 26% of the paid up share capital. If during the resolution plan the account was sold to others, then one new promoter minimum shareholding at least 26%. Then also the account is eligible for restructuring. But the new promoter not belongs to old promoter or existing promoter. So it is unrelated to existing promoter, unrelated to resolution framework account. Now, last point, for upgradation of the account from non-performing to performing, along with this payment or change in the capital structure, one more condition is there. If the amount is 100 crores and above, 1 million, 1 billion means 100 crores and above, to qualify for an upgrade from NPA to PA, we have to take the rating, external rating certificate from the external rating agency. In addition to demonstrate satisfactory performance of these conditions, the credit facility to the borrower shall also be rated by external rating agency as investment grade. Investment grade means BBB or better at the time of upgrade. So along with this satisfactory condition, either repayment or change in the acquirement of new capital structure. Along with that, if loan amount is 100 crores and above, along with the two conditions, the account is going to be rated from external rating agency, and the rating agency rating must be minimum, that is minimum investment grade BBB or better, means above means BBB, A, double A or A, better means BBB, then after better means A, then afterward double A, then afterwards triple A at the time of upgrades. These are the conditions for upgrades. So this in the for all the examinations, now prudential framework for resolution of stress records is very, very important. Now thank you very much viewers for extending support. These 10 or 11 questions are very, very useful for your preparations of all the examination. Thank you very much for